Hello everyone, welcome to this video. So in this particular video, we'll be seeing around the GOAD installation, that is Game of Active Directory, and we'll be seeing like how we can install the GOAD and how we can create our entire red team environment. So there are multiple labs which is available in the GOAD environment, and we'll be seeing like how we can go with each of them. And first of all, like we'll be installing the basic labs, and then we'll be seeing like what all are the challenges in the installations, and what all things we'll be learning in this particular video. So as of now, I have just cloned the repo for the GOAD, and let me just see. Yeah, it's there. GOAD. Let me just navigate to that, and let's try to install it, because there were a lot of errors I was facing around. So I just reconfigured my this Linux headers, and now let's try to install it. First, let me see. Yeah. Okay. So let's try to install our GOAD machine. But before that, let me check the VirtualBox is running or not. Yeah, it's running. Okay, so we will be running GOAD and install, and we'll be using the Docker. And if we are running Ansible in the Docker container itself, whereas you can have a local option to run it. And let me just show you what all options we have. GOAD and search all. And you can see like there are multiple options, and we are having multiple labs associated with it, and each lab has its own different infrastructure around, and we can install these labs within various providers. So currently we'll be using the VirtualBox within our Kali machine, and let's see how it's installed. Okay, so let me just go to the command. With -t, the type is install, and we'll be using the Docker itself. So let's see how we can finish with an error. Okay, so what's the error here? WinRM elevate. Okay, so let's try to install the Vagrant plugin for WinRM. Let's see if WinRM will work, or we will install the Elevate plugin also. So it might take a few minutes. So let me just pause the video till the time it install. Okay, it's installed, and let's see if it works. Okay, now it will be requiring the Elevate plugin. Elevate it. So there are various plugins within the Vagrant module. So let's see. Runs. Okay, perfect. So now what it will be doing is it will be fetching up all the Docker machines and all the VMs and all the Docker containers, and it will be setting up the lab automatically for the red team space. And here we will be seeing the labs. Once it is created, we'll be seeing all the labs. So it will be taking a lot of time based upon your bandwidth. So it will be the total consumable bandwidth will be approx the 25 gigs. And so let me just pause the video till the time it installs. Okay, so I'm back with it. So as you can see, like there will be few of the errors which you will be finding at the last. So what this particular script will be doing is it will be downloading the images for the VM, and it will be mounting them in our virtual box, and it will be running over there. Now till the means the three VMs are running fine, and on when we will be reaching up to the fourth VM, we will be seeing this sort of errors, most of you, even though we would have provided the maximum memory to the Kali machine that is of 24 gigs. Now, this is basically happening if you manually try to start this VM, still you will be getting an out of memory error. So, what we need to do is we need to go to one of the directory, that is AD, and then we'll be going to GOAD, which is a lab, and then we'll be going to providers, and then we'll be going to VirtualBox, and here you will be finding the vagrant file. Let me show you. So this is the vagrant file, and let me just quickly edit this file. And once you edit this, these are the basically the machines which will be downloaded to your VirtualBox, and post that it will be basically putting up certain scripts to configure the labs, and then you will see like there is configuration for various of the providers like virtual machine, VMware, and so here by default it will be 4000 as it is in VMware desktop. So currently our provider is VirtualBox, so here you will be seeing 4000, but I manually edited it, and I manually just edited it, and let's try to reboot all the machines, and let's try to manually actually configure the machines. To 2048. I'm not familiar with VirtualBox anymore, so just bear with me. Okay, here's this 2048. It is 2 gigs. So every machine I'll be doing the same. Because I do have my own Proxmox lab setup, so I used to work on that, but this is where we are setting this up using VirtualBox. And this one is already configured with 2048, and then let's just try to restart the machines. And I hope like all the machines will be started with the same. Yeah. So you can see like DC01 and all other machines are coming up one by one. So this particular script will be doing the headless start for all the machines and configuring all the required ports, and the necessary security patches will be pushed. Then the entire lab will be set it up. So let me just quickly pause the video until the machines restarted. And you can see now all the machines are booting up. So mostly like many of the finding out to be giving more and more amount of resources to the virtual machines itself, but yeah, the minimum amount of 2 gigs of RAM will be sufficing our labs for each of the machines. And once it's boot up, let's see how we will be setting it up further. Okay, so now all our machines has been deployed, to the virtual box, and there are few Ansible tasks which is going on, and which is basically gathering the facts about all the machines. And once it is done, like the upgrade of the partial module, and so whatever is configured, and then we'll be playing around within our lab. Yeah, so it's been a while, and you can see like still the Ansible scripts are running, and it's installing some basic functions, and creating the domains and adding the child domains and all. So trust me, like it will be taking a lot of time, a hell lot of time. So it's almost been 4 to 5 hours for me sitting up and working on these. But yeah, once it is compiled, it will be easier for us to play around in this Active Directory lab. So finally, we have reached to a point where we have successfully deployed our lab. And in this lab, like all the Ansible scripts ran successfully, the domain machines are rebooted, and all the tasks went fine, and all the servers are up and running. So before we dive into the red team stuff, let's take a look like how this entire lab structure looks like. So this will be the structure of our lab. So these all are the domains inside this lab. Let's see like what's inside that particular each domain has. So every domain, let's say 7kingdom.local, will be having a machine which is up and running. That is DC01. So one is running over here in the VirtualBox instance. And this particular machine will be having Win Defender enabled by default, and it is running on Windows Server 2019. And most of the servers you will be finding Windows Server 2019 or 16 in this entire lab, which will be having your patches deployed and all the stuff. And so DC01, which is your Kingsland server, which is having admin, two of the domain admins, which is your Robert Bratton and Kersey Leinster. And then we have domain north.7kingdoms.local, where we will be having two of the servers, that is Winterfell and Castleback. So Winterfell is one of the server, which is again running on 2019 and with Win Defender enabled by default. And then we have server 2, which is your again the Castleback server, and which is running on 2019 with Win Defender disabled on this. Okay, and to be noticed, like we have an IIS service running with the upload functionality of the ASP files. That we'll be seeing later, like how we'll be reconning and how we will be exploiting these servers. And then we have the third domain, which has two of the servers again, that is DC03 and server 03, which is your Marine and Bravos. So DC03 is running on Windows 2016 with Win Defender enabled, and Bravos, which is server 03, which is having again 2016 server with a Win Defender enabled by default. So this is how the entire structure of the lab, and we have like different admins, and some of them are like the MySQL admins or so, and we have different groups also, which is like the small council group or the Brethren group, which will be having the RDP service enabled by default. So this is how the lab structure is, and if you want to dig deep into this, we have the entire structure for the user and the groups which is associated with this entire lab. So let's see in the next video like how we will be initiating our red team stuff inside this particular lab, and let's continue with the series. Thank you.